and welcome to the show. We are here today on Car Mechanic Simulator. This is the new one. This is Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. A big thank you to the developers for sending me a code so I get a little early access to playing on this one. I was very much looking forward to this. I thoroughly enjoyed the previous one, so naturally wanted to have a go. With this, there is plenty of stuff to be doing. With it, there are many more cars. Now, there are no real-world cars as of yet in here. I expect they'll probably end up as DLC further down the line. But there is a good selection of fictional cars that are very similar to real-world cars. That's not the button I meant to press. This is what I meant to press. We can, you can get the idea. I think we've got two of the same one. Of course we do. Don't actually have very good variety this time. Flicking through the orders just for a very quick demonstration. We're going to be working on one of the new cars today, and we're going to see what I'm doing time-wise, because it's really easy to get sucked into incredibly complicated repairs that weren't supposed to take that long. So yeah, this is the workshop, so this is where you start off. I've played a fair bit of this to get some money, to get some XP, so that we can do bits and pieces. I love that your workshop, you start off with just random crap inside of it, just because now I am going to upgrade it. Because I want. This is your skill tree for yourself. You get, every time you level up, you get some points. Naturally, I've gone for the quickest to screw the bolts in because they're a nightmare to work with. This is your upgrading of your tools. There are various tools around the place you can use and bits of your garage. I'm going to get the second lifter because I'm going to get the bus. Sadly, I can't repair the bus, otherwise I'd have the bus. But there we go. Look at that. Much more professional workspace we have going on here now. Anyway, yes, to the job in hand. If you've played Car Mechanic Simulator games before, this is going to be very, very familiar. There is no crazy, massive differences. There are differences, it's a little bit more in-depth, but there's no vast changes, if you will. So our job for this one, replace some filters. Air filter, fuel filter, oil filter, easy enough. Now there's some knocking noises coming from the engine. We don't know what that is. We've got some knocking from the suspension, that's easily found, and the brakes we don't know yet. Okay, let's start off before I pull anything apart. Actually, before we pull anything apart, if we want to try and do this efficiently, we can go with an examination mode. This might tell us some stuff, might tell us bits and pieces that we need to do on the engine. This is also, there you go, one of the idler rollers is going to need repairing. It's also a very good way to get XP, because it takes like a second to inspect a part, and for every one you gain 1 XP. You gain 1 XP every time you take a part off of the car. It's a lot quicker to do this than it is to take stuff off the vehicle. So I do tend to, like, whenever I get a new job, I'll just go and inspect the engine because I'm lazy. Well, not because I'm lazy, but because I can get some easy XP, if you like. So yeah, we'll do that, and then it should. Here we go. It'll tell you now. This is the stuff that's wrong as you've discovered it. So I think this is slightly different. You can then click on these, and then when you go look at the car, it'll highlight the bits that you need to replace. It makes it a little bit easier to try and keep track of everything. The other way, the other way to work with trying to fix the car is basically you play a game of Spot the Rust. This is actually quite a good vehicle to play a game of Spot the Rust with, because everything is relatively clean. So I can tell you, for example, oh no, that's just a... I can tell you here, for example, that caliper is going to need replacing. I can tell you that bolt there is not going to come out easily. It is going to need to... Basically, they're going to be stubborn bolts that are like stuck. You just have to press another button. Basically, it makes working on old rusty cars more of a pain in the arse than it was before. Which, I mean, is about accurate. It is about accurate. So, yeah, for example, I need to lift the car up, don't I? Whoopsie. Well, we don't know everything is wrong with this car. Yeah, we'll find it as we go. And then in the bits when we find it, it'll add it to the list. Now, I'm saying that that's going to need changing based purely on the rust level. I have no other information other than that, but I'm pretty confident that that is going to be crap, and the brake pads are also crap. So we will take that off, and we will take that off, and that is good. What have we got over here? Do we spot any rust? Yes, the disc is entirely made out of rust. Also, that will need changing as well. I think that was one of the bits it already knew needed changing. But, yes, we'll get the rust disc off. Somehow the disc is rusty, but the caliper and pads are almost brand new by the looks of it. Well, relatively. So we'll get rid of that. As I said, this, if you play Car Mechanic Simulator, is all very, very familiar. I kind of like the detective work. It does admittedly become a little easier when you're just playing a silly game of Spot the Rust. It's not that easy normally. That will have to come off as well, I would imagine. The pump, yeah, that's the module. So I was just remembering the pump looks like that's all right. That looks like that's going to have to come off. Let's see if we can later. See if we can be sneaky and get away with having to remove the wheel. Not the case. Come on, there we go. We'll get rid of the wheel. All of that brake looks okay, so that's fine. We'll get rid of you. And now when I take the part off, it'll sort of figure out the condition of it, and then it'll add it to the list of stuff that's broken. So it's going to tell me up there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think with the springs, because they're all together in one bit. So now if we go on here, we should have. So we've got all of the brake parts done. Well, figured out what all the brake bits are. So we need disc, pad, caliper, etc. We already knew about the shock absorber cap. That's fine. Now we've got to figure out the knocking noises coming from the engine bay. Now we do have some other tools that I can use. So outside of the visual inspection, we found something. We can do additional tools. So these are the things that you unlock along the way. We can do an electric. This won't be any use on this. We've got electric multimeter because electrics are a little bit more of a thing. They're not crazy in depth. Oh, I'll tell you the starter's knackered. I kind of knew that because I saw it as rusty as anything. But as you can see, as examining various parts, we do have the fuse boxes. We have relays and fuses and all of that fun stuff to be dealing with over here. You will want the tool. Trying to figure out what one of these isn't working without that tool is a nightmare. So you're going to want to get that tool fairly on. It's a fairly cheap thing to get, so yes, I would recommend you get that tool fairly sharpish. We can put that cover back because we know that is all fine. Now we can also do, oopsie, under unmount mode, there we go, and then we'll find additional tools. We're also going to run, don't think we have to worry about fuel pressure test. That's just to check like fuel pump, and we'll know the fuel filter's crapping out. We'll run through the compression test just in case anything is wonky with those bits of the engine. It probably, oh, okay, well, rocker arms knackered. 2 rocker arms. Oh, we're gonna have to pull half the car apart. I thought this was gonna be a nice easy job to show off, but no, we're gonna have to stop. Pull half the engine apart. That's fine. I say that, there was one of the jobs that I was doing on this. So you get the random orders coming. There are some story, I think some story missions, if you like. I use that term very loosely, but there is some stuff that is sort of specific. Every time you level up, you get one of these story missions that are a little bit more complicated and so on, which is understandable. But you get plenty of like random jobs of all sorts of different things. And I had one that only required like 4 bits changing on the car. However, I had to pull apart nearly the entire engine to get to the bits. It's very annoying. Right, we're going to pull apart most of this engine as well. Yeah, this looked like a nice straightforward job. I mean, there's not very many parts that need changing. There's 2 bits not discovered, and I wonder where they're going to be. The belts look okay. Actually, a couple of things that we are going to do. So fluids are another thing that we have, another new feature, if you like, that we have to deal with here. I'm going to drain the oil out of it because we're going to have to take off various bits. I'll just drain the oil out of it while we're here. Otherwise, if you don't and you undo something and you pour oil everywhere, you get fine. Not very much, like 100 credits for accidentally piddling oil everywhere, but we're still going to try and do it properly. So we're going to take out all of the oil and we're going to take out the water, because I think I'm going to take the water pump off to get to, or the coolant I should say, to investigate stuff around the front. Right, so additional tools again we need to go to drain out all of that. I mean, the fluids things, they're fun. They're nice enough things to have. It's not a huge big difference. It's just another part, if you like, to the cars to deal with. It's not like you're having to deal with pipes and that sort of thing. It's just these reservoirs and that's it. You know, they'll be in slightly different places, slightly different styles depending on the vehicle, but it's not crazy in-depth stuff. Can I have a look? I'm trying to have a look around, see if I can figure out. And that's the roller that we know is crap. Can't get that off yet. Can't get that off yet. We can get rid of that. I really, really hope it's not going to... Okay, well, we know it's noise coming from the engine, so we know it's going to be happening up this end of the vehicle, so to speak. I'm trying to think. Well, I haven't actually worked on one of these cars before here, or I think I've worked on one of these pretend 350Zs, but it was only for a really basic suspension job, so I've not worked on this engine before, so I don't know what we're going to find under here. Well, I say that. Oh, well, there's your problem. You've got a rusty camshaft. How that one's gone and that one hasn't, you can also tell I've been watching far too much Mythbusters of late. I found it's back on Amazon Prime. Life is good. That's one of the things we're going to need to take out. Oh, I got to take out so much of this bloody engine. Ah, well, I say that. I mean, okay, again, it is the fun. You got 2 rusty camshafts. Oh, bugger. Right, let's get rid of another timing cover, and this is a fiddly engine. But to be fair, it's a much more modern engine. Of course, it's going to be a fiddly engine. Great. Oh dear. Right, let's get that off, and then there might be a slightly more efficient way of doing this. I'm not sure. I think I have to take off most of the engine. Admittedly, camshaft changes are not exactly easy things to do with real cars. I mean, at the end of the day, it's much easier to do. I might not have needed to... wait, what? I got to take the oil pan off to get the timing cover off. Apparently I do. I did need to drain the oil out of it. I might not have needed to drain the coolant. Oh, no, we did, because we had to take the water pump off, of course. Never mind. Right, back up into the air we go. We play silly buggers with the lifts. It's just up and down. Again, there are builds. I do remember that being a fun thing. No, not. I remember that being a fun thing of Car Mechanic Simulator. Just the constant up and down on the lifts as you have to go. They've still got the same. Sometimes cars have really dumb requirements. Like, for example, despite the starter motor being there, sometimes you can only access it from the bonnet. So you have to, or from the engine base, you have to have the car on the floor rather than up in the air. That one there was sensible, at least. Okay, I can see the flywheel is rusty as anything. Okay, well, that's going to have to be changed. So camshaft and flywheel? Are they the last bits that we don't have? Maybe it's a clutch pressure plate. There's definitely a really rusty looking bit on the back of the engine. That must be the pressure plate, but that shouldn't be showing through. That's the flywheel that's showing through. Well, okay, we're going to pull out the camshafts. Maybe one of them is not as bad as it looks. I feel like they're both pretty bad. If the game doesn't want me to change the flywheel, you can have a rusty flywheel. I don't care, not my car. I'll just tick all the boxes. That's a lot of bolts on there. Okay, I'm glad only 2 of them are rusted stuck. If we find one of these at a junkyard, it is going to be fun times. I want to go visit the junkyard and so on, but we'll see. Hold on. I swear there's more things wrong with this car than you are expecting me to need to take off, game. What bits are needed and what bits are not needed? I guess we'll find out. Okay, so water pump. Is that needed? Yes. Maybe I don't need to do the camshafts then. Hold on. If I don't need to do the camshafts, then I'm not going to. We'll see if we can. We'll just lift it back up into the air. We'll just send it back out as it is. It's fine. Okay, this is weird. I've not come across this before. I've been playing quite a lot of this game. I think it is slightly better in terms of money and progression than in previous Car Mechanic Simulator game, but it's still quite stingy. So I've played a good probably 10 or so hours of this so far to get to this stage. I'm at the point, hopefully, where I can start looking at restoring cars, basically. Alright, so that's off. Okay, get clutch release bearing. Get the pressure plate off. It does look like the flywheel's going to be the other thing, so if the order says that's all we need to do, that is all we need to do. That flywheel is completely rust. 1% flywheel. Sweet, okay, so just the rusted camshafts can stay. That's all fine. I see no problems. It's not for me. Right. Okay. We've found everything. So now we've found everything that we need. Everything that we need to take off the car has been taken off the car. And now we go and buy all the stuff. I have developed... basically, I say I'm a bit lazy. It is all very well and good you can favourite this. Now, you can set stuff to a shopping list. So that when you go to into the shop on the tablet, you know what you're looking for. I wish if you like put these stars here, I wish that would automatically apply it to your shopping list. It's really annoying. And because I have an awful memory, I have developed. It's not exactly development here, but basically, I'm going to use my phone and I'm going to take a picture of what I need to buy, so that I can be way more efficient at going through the shop and buying all of this crap, rather than getting halfway through, forgetting and going back to it. Is there a better way of doing it? Probably. Am I going to find said way of doing it? Probably not. So now I have my phone set up and we can go and buy all the bits and pieces that we need. There are some new shops, of course. You will notice the big one being the electric shop. Parts are changed, been moved around a little bit. Again, nothing crazy in all of this. There is some vehicle add-ons which are fun. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And of course there is going to be spots for modded vehicles, which is nice to see. There is customization. Your tuning shop is back with your various modified parts. There's also tuning body shops, so you've got some sort of custom parts for vehicles. It's not crazy extensive, but it's fun to have. You can have a quick look at some of the cars that are in the game. There's some really cool ones. There are some very cool ones indeed. What custom stuff can you get? Not much fun for the truck. So what the hell earth custom could you get for this? Oh, you can get a big air scoop for your Chrysler Epsilon thing. Sure, that thing's cool. Now, anyway, I've got distracted. Don't get distracted. We're going to... it's going to take long enough to do this bloody repair job anyway. Right, so we need filter. We need an air filter. Apparently, it's just called air filter in here. That's fine. We need a fuel filter, and we need an oil filter. I don't think I've actually taken the air filter out of the car currently, but that's fine. We can fix it. We will use... So I mean, there are still a fair few generic parts. The V8 oil filter gets used in a lot of engines, even though technically this is a V6. It's fine, it works. Can't complain too much, really. Okay, we need a clutch pressure plate, not the plate, pressure plate we need. We need a flywheel, because that one was completely crap. We need the roller B. Idler roller B, that one will do. Oh, we didn't actually get the rocker arms off the car. Right. Oh no, I know why. They're not camshafts, they are the rock. They're just called something slightly different. We do need to get them off the car. I'm just a plank. I was thinking rocker arms being these bits. I'm used to working with old... old V8. Is the starter in here, then? It is. Okay, so that's in the electric shop, which is a little annoying. The electric shop, I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit of a pain having to go to a different shop just for a few things. While it is fun to have that stuff, it's also still a tiny little bit annoying. So, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Maybe it'll get expanded upon and added to. Who knows? Right. We need a front shock absorber cap, so I'm going to pull that apart. We need a sway bar, end link, that one. We need... Oh, we didn't get the hub bearing either. We can figure out... So we can figure out that will be easy enough to do. And then we need some things for the brakes. We need a caliper. We need a disc. And we need pads. Now there is... So when it comes to fixing this stuff up, there is something to note. So I've pulled off various bits and pieces on this car, and it wants certain stuff repaired, as you can see in here. This is why I have it highlighted, and when we go into here it'll show me. Now, the bits that you pull off the car, when they're not in the position that is required for repair, the game will let them get away with being lower health, basically, for you to complete the order. So, for example, I know this side of the car wants a caliper. And probably pads, because I can't see pads being needed anywhere else with the glowy outlines. So, I have to put on this side the new pads and the new caliper. If I put the caliper from, let's say, this side and then put the new caliper on that side by accident, or because I'm just quickly flicking through it, the one that came off the car might not be, while being good enough for that side, might not be good enough for this side, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of the best way of describing that, and I'm not 100% sure I've done a good job, but it basically can be a little fiddly. Now, when it's with the brakes, it's not too bad. I have done rebuild an entire engine, big classic V8 engine, and put the valve push rod in the, like, put a slightly older valve push rod in a slot that was required for a new one, and had to basically pull the whole engine apart again. That was really annoying. So it's something to watch out for. So the way that I'm doing it, now this is something that may well get patched out, of course, in future, but the way I'm doing it is when I've ever put parts on that are needed, I'm just making sure and double checking that it's all going through properly. It's a little bit of a faff. It doesn't seem to always ping up like that, it's just sometimes it catches me out. It's something to be a little bit wary of. Make sure I get the right size wheels. That's another thing I keep screwing up on some of these orders, is end up having mismatched wheels, then you can't complete a job. Right, so I did also spot that this is the side that... I don't know why I can automatically flicking through to changing that. We want a wheel hub bearing in there. That's all good. We can put that on, and then we can go. Let's go sort out the shock. We'll sort out that corner, and then we'll work on the engine. Separate that. So yeah, these things will come back. There is some little mini games now that you do. I haven't got to the stage of repairing parts yet. That is something that comes up. But wheel balancer, there's a small mini game. It's nothing really. You just got to kind of. Can I show you? Will it let me? No. Okay, it's a very, very, very basic little mini game. Just basically means it takes a slight bit more time to it. All right, shock absorber is in. That should be all good. We can connect that up there, and then we can go and stick a wheel on this side. So that should be us all set over here. Right, and then while the car is up in the air, let's go and stick on the flywheel. We also got to go pull up. We are rebuilding this bit of the car already to pull apart most of the front of the car. It's fine. I'm sure nothing is going to fall apart and be a terrible mess when we do this. This should be a fairly decent earning job in terms of XP and all of that. Gearbox, you can go on. Yeah, if we got this, we can lower the car down, and then we should be able to finish it off and be... Oh, it uses a V8 starter. Whoops. I misread that. Ah well, we've got a brand new starter motor for something at some point. And oh no, don't look at the tyre. Look at the drive shaft. It's not very often you get those two confused, but never mind. It's all good. Drive shaft is in. Okay, everything else will be, I think, from the engine bay. I can't look at that while the car's going. I'm going to check, make sure that we are on course. We don't know the filters, we know that, of course. Idler roller, rocker arms, and water pump, that's to come. All of that's done. ABS module. Sweet. Okay, we're going to do the ABS. That's the brakes sorted. Did I not buy... Oh, did I buy the... Oh, wait, hold on. I meant to go back. Oh, maybe I forgot to buy that. I tried to be efficient. It's the flicking between the shops that gets me when I'm trying to be efficient. I'm really not the most efficient person in the world. At least, thankfully, these don't have to be too much more disassembled to come off. Make sure to take off all the fiddly little caps here. It could be worse. I'm just gonna say that it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot better. This sort of like when you see like some of the jobs that come in, it does look like they're going to be nice and straightforward. It doesn't necessarily. And to be fair, I imagine that is how it would be working with any kind of mechanic job. Something that can seem very simple and then very quickly descends into complete madness. I say complete madness. this is a fairly extensive problems we've got going on with this car. But there we go. I will say, what's one thing I haven't figured out yet? Did I not buy the right ones? Are there two types? Yes, I think so. Apparently so. Apparently I bought the wrong types. Either I wasn't paying attention, or, which is probably. This is the, I said I tried to be efficient with like taking the pictures of the thing. Did it actually say? Yeah, it did say rocket arm A. I just didn't read it. I can try and be efficient, but sometimes I am just a bit of a fool. I mean, you already probably knew that. Let's face it. Water pump can go on the front. That one we have got the right one of. I don't know what order I'm doing this in. I'm just kind of clicking on different stuff around the place. Don't have a particular rhyme or reason. You know, we're going to do the other side of the car now, just because I can. It's definitely not the most efficient way of doing it, but just kind of sporadically fitting it. Like I say, I try to be half neat with rebuilding stuff, but sometimes that just goes out of the window for a bit of randomness. Oh, are we clicking on the right thing? Yeah, the blue outline is really helpful, though it does sometimes get a little bit confusing. It's quite easy to miss, and sometimes you've got to get the right angle to see what bits you're looking at exactly. Overall, it's pretty helpful. Can be a little dumb at times. Well, it can be a little awkward to see everything. This is probably a better way of describing, because you've got lots of parts sort of overlaying on top of each other. You know, I don't know how else you go about doing it, to be honest. But on the most part, it is a pretty useful thing. Right, that goes on the top. Okay, let us then go put all the timing back on it and get the throttle bits reconnected. If you think this is a pain, like bolting stuff at this speed, there is a very good reason why I have quickly spec'd into get to the very top of the screw speed, whatever you want to call it. I was trying to think of a better way of phrasing it. That isn't a good way of phrasing it, but bolting speed? I don't know, there's no real good way of phrasing that. I'm going to go with just shut up and don't continue going down that path. Right, this jobs thing has been way more involved than I was expecting it to be. I was going to do some other things. We'll do some other things. Of course we will. It's Car Mechanic Simulator. This will be a long video. We'll get to some other things. There's some cool things that we will hope. Let's see. I can put all this. Hopefully we will get to do before everything is done. Some more covers and bits of crap around the place. Can we fit a million rollers, please? Wait, do we need one of these specifically? Is it B that was needed to be specific? Okay. It wasn't paying it. This is the other thing. It's really easy when it's like this crazy long job that you get, I say, almost distracted. And this is when you put the wrong, like, new part in the wrong place and then have to pull apart a load of stuff. Because you're just kind of going through the motions a little bit. Right. If I get this all done first time without having forgotten something, I'll be impressed. It'll be unlikely, because this is me. We haven't had to deal with rubber bushings, though. This is good news. We have not had to deal with them. Wait, while I'm down here, oil filter. That will do. And then there's a belt tensioner that needs going back in. And I think we're mostly done with the engine now. We've just got to put the fluids back into it. Part mount, belt tensioner. Okay, that should be us done. I should think. And then we can fill up the coolant and then fill up the oil, and I think we're done. We didn't mess around with the brakes. We haven't been told we need to fill up the brake. Do anything with the brake? No, the brake's got fluid in there. That's fine. Am I blind? There's the oil fill. Then I will check that I've gone and done. I have done the classic thing of I've quickly put back together the engine, and I now, having said to check to make sure it's all going well, I haven't actually checked. Alright, fuel filter and of course air filter we haven't got done yet. Oh, whoop! There's the fuel filter. We'll let back. And the air filter is over here. Please don't. Oh, we've got bloody clips. Oh. the other thing that goes missing everywhere. Clips and rubber bushings. The wonderful, wonderful fun times. But we only have to deal with a little bit. That is, yep. That is wrecked. There is a nice fresh air filter for you. And now we should hopefully have our vehicle ready to go. I can't think of anything I've forgotten. I probably have forgotten something stupid, but I do believe that is us done. Is all of this bit's done anyway. This is when the moment of truth. Have I forgotten to put something back on the car? No, we haven't. Hey, there we go. We have completed the job. And that's, I mean, that is the essence of Car Mechanic Simulator. Of course, there is plenty more. One thing I was going to show off here that is quite good fun. We're going to get rid of all of the junk that we don't normally need. These crates. So you get these, there's like a random chance that these turn up. I think when you complete jobs, you might get them when you level up. They have rewards in them. There's a bunch to choose from. You can get bonus. I don't know what this does. I've not figured it out yet. It's a bonus something. Ooh, we've got a barn find location. Woo! So yeah, this is where you get the barn finds from now. Let's open the next crate. What have we got in this one? You can get money. You can get XP. Not very much money. I feel like the money is one of the worst rewards. The barn find is cool. Because I haven't been to one of them as of yet. I had a very quick look at the junkyard. XP is nice because now I've leveled up, which is very helpful. And we've got some bonus things, I don't know, something or other. Are we going to get... I want another barn find location, please. Nope, got bonus points, I don't know. Yes, there we go. Okay, I'll save the rest. I'll save the rest for now. We will collect those, but look at this. Do I want to add this to the map? Yes, yes I do. Shall we go and see what is at the barn? There is a barn to go and investigate. I mean, it looks like there's a Corvette C4 in the barn. This is when I get there and the car's going to cost me like 50 grand and I'm going to be broke. I mean, it's a barn find, it shouldn't be 50 grand. That's the hope, right? This is what I felt like the rarest car in the game on the first barn find. It would be my luck to find this really rare, cool thing and then not be able to do anything. Here we go. It's time to investigate a barn. Oh, there's a lot of signposts. That is not a really cool rare... Oh, it's a police car. Okay, I take it back. It's kind of cool. Okay, I do take that one back. It's kind of cool. We have found a police car. It is the beginning of the FailRace Police Department. What else do you have in your barn of much goodies? You have a pickup truck. Do you have anything else in here? Do you have anything perhaps... Ooh, okay, like an M5 kind of a thing. Oh, it's a supercharged one as well. Ooh, now the choices. The choices are here. We have a police car. I feel like we've got to buy the police car. I don't know what we're going to find in this like piles of junk. Can you find cool stuff in here? The serpent. The thing is, I'm never going to use those because I'm only going to use like brand new parts. You can do. There's a whole load of. I haven't unlocked the like parts repairing. I think it's like a salvaging of parts that I've not really got into as of yet. There's a random intake manifold. I want to know why you have like the front fender from. I don't actually know what that is. I think is that an SUV? I don't know. We've got bits of a. Mustang, I think, is the Spectre Fastback. The collection of parts in here is fascinatingly weird. Ooh, you... Holy crap. What is that? Supercharged thing. Oh, I like this. Yes, I want a supercharged pickup truck. How much is the supercharged pickup truck? 21 grand. I mean, it's not cheap, but I feel like this could be a cool thing to work on. I haven't actually, so you need to unlock the ability to swap engines. You've got to buy some tools, and I haven't got the engine hoist and the ability to swap engine. Oh wait, there's a case. Huh, that's cool. Okay, it's actually worth searching these then. I will take that case with me because I could find another barn or something fun in it. Now, god damn it, now there's actually potentially useful stuff in these. I am going to be forever searching everywhere now. Because most of the time there's not all that much useful. In these, like, it was fun to go through them, and it is fun to do the challenge of building a car using only sort of scavenged parts, because you know you can buy everything from the shops, so there's no reason to go around here in many ways other than for your own entertainment. But if you can find like chests and stuff in here, that kind of makes it slightly more worthwhile because you could get some cool stuff out of that. But there we go. So yeah, how much is, let's just have a look at our options here. We have got 37 grand. Okay, I'm not buying that. That's way too expensive. I feel like the supercharged pickup truck is going to be where we go. This thing's kind of fun. 25 grand. Is the supercharged pickup truck the cheapest? I mean, if it's the cheapest, as much as I like the thought of a police car, I can't buy both. Yeah, okay, supercharged pickup truck is. I can't buy both. I've not got the money because I've got to try and restore it as well. So, sorry, FailRace Police Department. Instead, you're going to be fitted with... yeah, El Camino alike. Sweet. Let's go and buy our first, hopefully of many, restoration projects. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, I like that you can find something maybe useful in the old. Yeah, I'll buy the case for a couple of hundred. I don't know. I guess I'll open it, but then I've got random cases, so I'm not going to know which one was the one I found. Either way, there's a perk actually as well that can give you a much higher probability of getting a case when you finished a job. It's a long way down the tree, but it does kind of make for a more... so for the end game of this is a little bit more fun if you can be getting cases and get more barn finds and all of that kind of thing. Alright, let's go and move this into the workshop. The supercharger looks nice. The rest of the engine looks crap, but the supercharger looks good. I mean, it's probably going to get replaced with brand new parts. There isn't much great on this, but there we go. That will be a job for next time out on this game. Well, it's done 331,000 kilometers, but I shall look forward to getting this fixed up. So you're not going to make a profit at the moment. It will do by the time I'm finished with it. Oh, okay, let's open one more case while we're here. Sure, let's see if we can get anything funky. I don't know. I don't know how crazy the rewards can get. I presume nothing more crazy really, other than more barn find locations. Got some more XP. It'd be nice if you could find some really cool stuff. Some, I don't know, like rare parts maybe. I don't know. I was gonna say like you could find like a car chassis or something to build up from, but I guess it doesn't make much sense being in a case. I don't know. Could be an interesting sort of little mechanic. But anyway, there's a look at the new Car Mechanic Simulator game. I'm definitely going to be doing more on this. I do enjoy some vehicle restoration and all of that. So yeah, next time out we're going to be building this thing up and see how restoring a car goes. Probably burn through all of my money, but hopefully it'll make a profit. Fingers crossed, because that's way more fun than doing jobs. The jobs themselves are good, but yeah, restoration is where it's at, for me anyway, with this game. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.